Welcome, fellow travelers, and thank you so much for tuning in. If you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support. And if you're new here, we hope you'll enjoy our travel experiences and insights. With Danielle currently in Paris, I'm here holding down the fort. And I got to think about what are some things we should share with you guys as far as travel goes. I decided I wanted to finally do a video on Global Entry. Global Entry is a program that allows you expedited entry through United States Customs and Immigration. It only works for entering the United States. However, if you travel frequently, this is a huge benefit because you get to avoid the long lines that are common in Customs and Immigration when returning to the US. Now you might be wondering, how do you sign up for Global Entry? How much does it cost and where do you do it? There are multiple steps to follow before you can actually be approved for Global Entry. First, you have to apply and there's a $100 application fee. Unfortunately, the application fee is unrefundable. So if you're denied access, you won't be seeing that $100 back. So how do you determine your chances of being approved? Now, there's no foolproof way, but for the most part, if you have no criminal record, you're sure to be approved. Also, in order to be eligible, you have to be a US citizen or a citizen or lawful resident of the following countries: Argentina, India, Colombia, United Kingdom, Germany, Panama, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland, Taiwan, and Mexican nationals. You must also hold a current passport at the time of application. To apply, simply go to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency website. That's www.cbp.gov. Under the Travel tab, you want to select Trusted Traveler Programs. Now there are 4 of them. The one I'm covering is obviously Global Entry, and the one that is most pertinent to entering the country faster through Customs and Immigration. So select the Global Entry tab and click Apply Now. Of course, make sure you qualify before applying. Before I move on, some of you with a criminal record might be wondering if there's a chance you can get in. Well, I've seen some reports that if you have a misdemeanor, that there are some people who are allowed in conditionally. Though I'm pretty certain if you've ever had a felony, you won't qualify. It's important to note though that regardless of what I say, your results may vary. The first part of the application process is creating an account on cbp.gov. This creates a profile for you, and then you'll be able to move on to the application form. After filling out the form truthfully and accurately, you're going to have to then pay the fee in order for your application to be processed. After you submit, you're going to wait for conditional approval. Now this typically takes less than 24 hours. I think I got mine within an hour or so. When you get conditional approval, it's going to assign you a Global Entry number. You're gonna have to bring that email and anything else they ask for with you to your interview. Now to schedule your interview. This is the tricky part. Global Entry has become more and more popular because more and more people are discovering it and they don't want to wait. So depending on your location, you may not be able to find an interview for months out. So if you're planning international travel within a month or 2 of applying, there's a high chance that you may not have Global Entry by the time your travel date arrives. There are a few workarounds around this. I'm not going to go into great detail about them here, but I can in another video if you really persist. One of them is by selecting a date that may be 3 or 4 or 5 months out, but checking back regularly for cancellations. If you happen to log on and there's a cancellation available closer to you, you can switch the date. The other way is by scheduling an appointment at another facility that's not necessarily in your state. Maybe you're traveling and you can schedule one there at an earlier date than you can at home. Those are the 2 ways I know off the top of my head. If you know of any others, please comment them below. At your interview, you will be interviewed by a border protection agent. They'll take your fingerprints. You'll use these later at kiosks to enter the country. Now again, your results may vary on this. I wasn't asked too many questions, but I was asked more questions than Danielle was. Think of it as if you're going through customs. On certain days with certain agents, you'll be asked these set of questions. On certain days with certain agents, you won't be asked any questions at all. But overall, the experience should be relatively short and easy. Now, we've discussed who qualifies for Global Entry and how to sign up for Global Entry. Now, how to use Global Entry. So when you're coming back into the United States, there's no need to fill out a customs form, the physical ones that they give you on the plane. You're going to do all this at a kiosk at Customs and Immigration. The lines are going to be separated. There'll be a Global Entry, there'll be a mobile passport, get to that in another video, and then there'll be regular entry. The Global Entry line is almost always non-existent. It's just a set of, I believe, 12 kiosks in Logan Airport anyway. Many of them are always free when I walk in. You're going to approach your kiosk, scan your passport, answer the questions that are normally on the Customs and Immigration card, and then it'll ask you to scan your fingerprints and then look into the camera because it is face recognition as well. After that, you'll have a ticket printed out that says you successfully made it through. All you need to do is give it to a border protection agent and then move on through Customs and Immigration. Now, this doesn't mean you won't be asked any questions, but in my experience, I haven't been asked any. And I've used this maybe about 5 times now. And I should add that every time I've used this, the regular line has been pretty long. So that's how to sign up for Global Entry and use it. Now I've got 2 bonuses for you guys. First is regarding the $100 fee. Now if you carry one of these 3 cards, you can get that fee waived. The Chase Sapphire Reserve, the American Express Platinum, and the City Prestige all include benefits that cover the cost of Global Entry every time you have to renew. Global Entry is good for 5 years, so every 5 years, you use those cards to pay for your fee, and it will be reimbursed. I do believe there are other cards on the market that also share this benefit. However, I can't think of them on the top of my head. Please comment below if you can help me out. A second bonus tip is global entry includes TSA Precheck. TSA Precheck is $85. So basically for an additional $15, you're getting both TSA Precheck and global entry. So if you don't have either, be sure to sign up for global entry, not both. How that works is for every flight you book, even domestic ones, put in your global entry number. TSA Precheck will then be added to your itinerary. Now results may vary. It doesn't happen 100% of the time for everyone. It has for me. It's only been about 90 to 95% for Danielle. So that's part 1, guys, of how to get expedited entry into the United States when traveling abroad. Part 2 will cover mobile passport. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them below. I'd love to get back to you. If you want more information on TSA Precheck, I can do that. Just comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and happy travels.